22-39802 on that. They're on 22. Yes. All right. Are you Dimmitri Oliver? And so Mr. Gertz represents Mr. Oliver and has filed a writ of habeas corpus requesting a reasonable bond. Mr. Oliver is charged with offensive murder. It is pre-indicted. There's $1 million bond set at this time. And I don't have a file, but I do have the writ, which is number 22-39802. Also, it looks like, what's that SO number? Anyway, I have for the record, I do have a copy of the probable cause affidavit and that application for writ. Mr. Gertz, you may proceed.
Judge, first and foremost, this is essentially a cold case. Detective Busby is working on it as a cold case situation. So we've been around. The client has been living in Southeast Texas his whole life, has been here, and I'd like to call him briefly to talk about his personal financial situation for the purposes of finding this.
Raise your right hand the best you can, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Gertz.
Mr. Oliver, do you have $100,000 in cash? Do you have what were you doing before you?
Well, I've done part of it, sir. For Walmart.
Okay. And being paid by Walmart, is that right? What were you being paid an hour?
They give us $100 a day.
$100 a day. So how many days a week would you work?
7 days a week.
7 days, so 700
a week.
Okay, so that's $2,800 a month.
Yes.
Okay. And do you own your own home, free and clear?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand what I mean, free and clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you own any other property that you don't have a lien on or something like that?
Yes.
What do you own?
Okay.
Fourplex?
Yes.
Okay. What do you owe on that?
I don't know nothing.
Yeah. How much was given? Yes. Inheritance?
Yes, sir.
How much is that worth?
That's right. Probably I got on it with 68,000.
68,000. Okay. And do you own any other major things of value? And by that I mean, stocks, bonds, gold, Bitcoin, anything like that. Does that $68,000 apartment complex, does that generate some type of revenue for you? How much revenue does it generate a month?
$2,600 a month.
$2,600 a month. Any other major sources of funding that you're aware of? Okay. I have no further questions.
Ms. Malvino, any questions?
Mr. Oliver, what is your criminal history?
Arrested in motor vehicle. Possession of controlled substance.
Was that possession of controlled substance actually out of this court?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Were you convicted of that?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
2014, 15.
Were you convicted again in 2025?
No.
Between 2013 and now, tell the court what type of trouble you have gotten into.
From 13 on the high speed chase, and then no trophy.
That was the evading.
Yes, ma'am. That was it. Yes, ma'am.
I don't have any further questions. Any other witnesses?
No, Judge.
All right, Ms. Malvino, witness.
I will call Detective Jeff Busby.
Good morning, sir. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Detective Busby, would you please state your full name for the record?
Jeffrey Busby,
And how are you employed?
City of Beaumont Police Department.
And are you a certified peace officer in the state of Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
And,
Master Police Officer.
and are you also assigned to the detective?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you the detective or one of the detectives, in fact, the lead, investigating, we have termed a cold case murder involving...
The prosecution relied on eyewitness testimony. DNA evidence is still being retested. The question wasn't guilt, it was risk.
Probable cause affidavit, but based on all of your investigation and the totality of the circumstances, would you give the court a very brief rundown as to the facts of this offense and what you think would be an appropriate resolution to this audience?
So, April 11, 2013, there was a homicide that took place from most apartments, 25 City Drive, Primrose.
And there was different witnesses, but a lot of them didn't want to come forward just because of the nature of the offense. And so kind of turned this into a cold case because witnesses didn't speak on this. They just prolonged until this, about September of last year. There were going to be witnesses, got eyewitnesses that were now at this point willing to come forward to give me their testimony of eyewitnesses that puts Mr. Oliver there and actually the true report that committed the homicide. That's what, we got the probable cause that I mean, speaking of these witnesses, most of them were very scared and fear. That's why they want to come forward. And even after speaking to them 2 or 3 different times, they really were afraid of this man and even considered more.
Anything else?
No.
Mr. Gardner, questions?
Detective, is there any physical evidence that you gather connects Mr. Oliver to the murder himself?
So there's a lot of evidence that was collected, and I'm retesting some of the DNA evidence. Some of the evidence did have a CODIS hit. It wasn't for Mr. Oliver, it was another person involved. But for that DNA evidence, it's not particularly for the homicide. It's going to be the stolen vehicle related to this homicide.
Because what happened here was seemingly after the murder, the vehicle was disposed of in certain locations. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. They committed a homicide, stole this vehicle, and within 24 hours dumped the vehicle.
And the DNA that you found relates to someone else was from the vehicle.
Yes.
Correct? And so, have you been able to rule out? You said Mr. Oliver. Were you able to rule out the decedent as well from that?
Have been able to rule out Mr. Oliver or the other involved person.
You said CODIS was for someone else other than Mr. Oliver.
Yes, sir. There was some evidence that didn't get put in CODIS that I'm going to resend and have it put in the CODIS to see if we can get hits on that.
Okay.
When I was reviewing this case, they had, I don't know, somewhere 30 to 40 pieces of evidence that was collected that they did swabs on, and not all of it was in it at the time. I couldn't give you a reason why. This is 2013.
Sure. What's the timeline for turnaround?
Yes. I'm not exactly sure. We're probably going to go to a private lab to get it quicker to expedite this, but I couldn't give you an actual timeline.
I mean, it's unlikely to be within, say, the next 90 days or so. Do you agree?
I don't have a valid opinion on that.
Okay.
All right, any other questions?
No.
Thank you, Detective.
Judge, may you be excused? He's in SWAT training.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thanks for coming down. All right, anything else?
No.
All right, argument?
Judge, we're just asking the court to consider a bond in the ballpark for $100,000 to $700,000. That's more than sufficiently high. In the circumstances we have right now, which is just informant-based or witness-based testimony. We can use for physical evidence tying him to the crime. And I'm not trying to limit the crime here. I'm just saying for a situation in which it's 13 years later, he's still here. He hasn't fled. He's not gone to Bermuda or something to get away from this. So clearly he doesn't have that consciousness of guilt that would be required when we indicate he's like this. He owns a piece of property here, although it's valued very high, but he owns a piece of property here. He's been a lifelong resident here. And so we're asking the court to consider reducing the bond to your ballpark to $500,000 to $700,000.
That's not enough?
Judge, I would defer to the discretion of the court in this case. I do recognize the fact that it's 2013 offense date and he still apparently is in the area. My concern is the same as with every homicide case. I would just ask the court to take into consideration all of the facts presented before you, both in the probable cause and by Detective Busby, and set something that is commensurate with the bonds that the court set in Jefferson County for these types of offenses.
Thank you. And I will, for purposes of the record, I have to take judicial notice of the court's file and review the probable cause affidavit. Based on that, the evidence presented, including, some of the limited facts that I have, dates and things like that, I am going to grant the motion or the writ. I'm going to set bond $650,000, and a condition of that bond, if made, or some conditions of that bond, if made, will be that Mr. Oliver, you be required to wear a GPS monitoring device at all times. And what is your home address? Where do you live?
7290 Willis Line.
7290
Willis.
Willis.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that in both? That's here in
Yes,
Beaumont.
ma'am.
And then your apartment complex is what address?
4305 Dimmitri Street. On my cases.
4305
Jeanette.
Jeanette
Yes.
with a J, A, N. So I'm going to at least, if you make this bond for some amount of time, also require that you wear that monitoring device and that you're on house arrest. I will allow you house arrest at the Willis Street house. I will allow you to travel to the Jeanette Street address for any required maintenance and things like that. I would need to know more about this job before I agree to that. Just hang on, get with Mr. Burks. If there's any specific requests, you can get with Mr. Gertz. He'll get those to me, and if I find that they're reasonable, I'll send that to Ms. Malvino, and I will make some adjustments to that. But at this point, that's what it is until you talk to him and you get my permission for anything else.
Yes.
In addition to those two places, you can also go to Mr. Gertz's office for attorney visits and to court. So until further order of the court, that's it. Okay?
Judge, may I make just one last request? Based on the testimony of Detective Busby and his making the comment that at one point in time, at least witnesses were concerned and possibly are still concerned for their well-being. I will get with the intake division when I take this case back to them and ask them to compile a list of possible witnesses and ask that he be ordered to have no contact with
Yes.
those individuals, and we can plug in that information to the judge.
Yeah, so I will go ahead and order it now, and then we'll fill in the blank on those names. But anyone that you know, even now through word of mouth or on the streets or whatever you've heard of people who were there, who are talking, you are to have absolutely no communication and no contact with them. That's through obviously you seeing them in person, but it's also sending messages on any type of social media or trying to be secret with it. It's also sending messages through other people. No contact, no communication. If there is any of that and I find out about it, you'll be back in jail with a much, much higher bond, okay? So don't make sure you follow all of those rules if you make that bond.
Yes.
All right? All right. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Are you Brian Trejo?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is 26 DCCR 0132. Mr. Trejo is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Mr. Rojas has filed a motion asking that I reduce bond, which is currently set at $300,000. And Mr. Rojas, you may proceed.
Mr. Trejo, Your Honor.
Mr. Trejo, raise your right hand the best you can. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
No.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Just state your name for the court, please. What's your name?
Brian Trevor,
And Brian, how old are you?
18.
And where are you originally from?
Galveston.
You were born in Galveston?
Yes, sir.
Where do you live now?
Well,
You lived your whole life in Port Arthur?
yes, sir.
Okay, who do you live with?
My parents.
Your parents started together and they're here today, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry, say that again.
They're here today, or his parents are here today. Who else lives in the house with you?
My brothers, my siblings.
A lot of them are here today also. So, Ryan, you know, your bond right now is $300,000. Your family's having a hard time coming up with the money for that bond, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, so I want to talk about you personally. Do you own any property in your name?
Yes, sir.
A home, a car, any land, or anything like that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a bank account in your name? My understanding, and tell me if I'm wrong, your parents own the house that they live in, right?
Yes, sir.
And it's already paid off.
Yes, sir.
And they're willing to help you out as far as trying to get you get some money for the bond if we can forward. Have you ever worked?
Yes, sir.
What kind of work have you done?
I work with my mom.
Doing what?
She paints apartments, offices, houses.
Okay. Is that the only kind of work you've ever done?
No, the yards. I've done construction.
You did construction with a company or working with a family member? Or
Yeah, family.
And all that kind of work, construction work, cleaning offices, is that work still going to be available to you if you're able to make a bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it's something you want to get back out and start
Yes,
working to help pay for the bond if we're able to get it lower.
Yes, sir.
This is a serious charge, right?
Yes.
Is this, you're only 18. This is the first time you've been arrested? Even if have you had any juvenile cases? Was a juvenile where you were arrested?
Yes, sir.
For what?
I love kids.
And you're asking the court to lower the bond rate for a $50,000 bond. I think that'd be enough, and along with ankle monitor, any kind of other conditions, full wants to put on it. You're asking the court to do that, that's a reasonable bond, right?
Yes, sir.
I'll pass the witness.
Thank you, Mr. Rojas. Any questions?
What else were you arrested for? Was it juvenile?
Isn't
Drug case?
it? Possession of marijuana.
Yeah.
Speak up, please.
Possession of marijuana.
Thank you.
What kind of weapon were you carrying when you were arrested for juvenile? Is that it?
Yes, sir.
And that's what you're charged with here, is for shooting somebody. Correct?
Yes, sir.
No question. Oh, sorry. What happened in the jail Saturday, Sunday?
Oh, I had got on the phone. Well, somebody passed me the phone, not knowing. Well, I didn't know somebody else was in line. Well, they forgot somebody else was in line. And while I was on the phone, somebody just came up and started punching on me.
The write-up was from the 8th, Your Honor, so you know, I had a chance to see it before court.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'll pass later.
All right, anything else?
No.
The judge reduced the bond, but added strict controls: GPS monitoring, house arrest, no contact with witnesses. In serious felony cases, freedom comes with conditions.